Jay Shetty, author of 8 Rules of Love, available now. Listen to his podcast. It's called On Purpose, wherever you get your podcast. Has beautiful eyes. Wow, your eyes are magic.
Yeah,
I just
they
looked
really
up
are.
to see them. That's the first time I've seen you, the color of your eyes like that. New York Times best-selling author, 8 Rules of Love. Jay, thank you for writing a manual. I have a lot of questions. How are you?
I'm really well. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to see you all.
What color are your eyes?
I'll let you decide. I have no idea.
They're blue?
They're blue,
I've been
right?
told they change color depending on what I'm wearing, so I have no idea.
Well, you're not wearing much and they're blue. All right, so 8 Rules of Love. Just give us the framing of what the intent of this book is.
So the intent is that I think so many of us have amazing professional lives, but often our personal lives are struggling, usually because of a lack of love or knowing how to share it, give it, and receive it. Or on the flip side, people who are struggling in their professional lives, when they have love at home, they're able to take more risks. They're able to switch. And I found that people who had love in their lives, who were able to find love, keep love, were able to live healthier, happier lives. And so I tried to write a book that would help people find love, help people keep love, and help people let go of love no matter how they lose it, so that we could take care of the most important thing that we experience in this human life.
Michaela, you're still single and dating in LA, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, you might want to listen to this.
I am.
Okay, good. So let's talk about that. Michaela is in the initial stages of dating, meeting people, first dating. You have any guidance? Because it seems like they go more in the direction of not well than well. No one's fault, but they just don't click.
Yeah, I think first of all, I'm going to say is that dating's awkward and uncomfortable, right? It's not easy
worst.
and it's not meant to be. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. And I think we have this fairy tale version of what the ideal date looks like or what the ideal person looks like. And it's good to just get rid of those and go, okay, this is going to be awkward and uncomfortable. And that's okay. I'm going to sit in that. I think the next thing is try and meet people as quick as possible. I think we spend far too many hours, far too many days, far too many weeks just messaging and trying to figure someone out online and trying to be like, oh, do I like them? Is there a spark? And I'm like, you're pretty much never going to know. And I think getting to a date as quick as possible. And by the way, if someone's not open to doing that, that's a good sign that this isn't going to turn into something real. And the third thing I'd say, which is probably the hardest one of all, is I think when relationships start as an interview, they end in a rejection. And I think dating often feels like an interview where everyone puts forward the best version of themselves and the perfect version of themselves. And I think you're a lot better off putting forward the most authentic version of yourself and seeing how someone responds to that. Because hopefully, if they're the right person, they're going to show you their authentic, vulnerable side. And if they're not, you've already quickly figured out whether there's a match or not. So I often say that you attract what you use to impress. And I think a lot of us use parts of ourselves to impress people when actually we want to attract people through our authenticity.
Jay Shetty is with us. I love this stuff. The book is called 8 Rules of Love, and I'm fascinated. So I want to understand when I grew up, we had the food pyramid. I think that went away, but we had the food pyramid, and you looked at in that pyramid the right amount of things to have in your diet. I think they've changed that since, but you have the intimacy pyramid that you talk about. I want to build the right intimacy pyramid. So what is that? How's that look?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the food pyramid. I remember that too. I think it's really interesting because I think a lot of us think like, oh, when you meet someone, everything's new, everything's fresh, there's lots of excitement. And what we're really experiencing is stress and excitement at the same time. And that's what we call the spark, stress and excitement. Excitement of, oh my God, they're so hot. And then the stress of, do they think I'm hot? Or the excitement of, I just got their number, or the stress of, are they going to message me, right? So we're feeling excitement and stress. And as you spend more time with someone, both of those start to go down because the stress goes down because you feel more comfortable with them. And the excitement goes down because now nothing's new. It feels old. And so the intimacy pyramid is designed to keep the excitement up always. You don't want stress to remain in a relationship, but we do want that excitement and freshness to remain. So entertainment is at the bottom of the pyramid. What I mean by that is watching TV together. Nothing wrong with it. It's great, but there's so much more we can do together. One up from that is experiences. When you go out and do a new experience that neither of you know a lot about, it can be a much better way to now actually debrief and go, wait, What was that like for you? How did you respond to that? It could be watching a new show you've never watched. It could be going to the theater. It could be going to a new part of town that you've never visited before. Above that is something called experiments. These are my favorite personally. It's things like escape rooms. It's a sport that neither of you know how to play. It's a cooking class if both of you are not great in the kitchen. It's doing something where both of you are beginners. We're used to doing something where one of the partners is the expert or knows their way around. You want to do something where neither of you have a clue.
That's great.
I love that.
A new part of your partner, right? You can't just, you'll never learn something new if you only see them do old things. Like we see our partners wash up, we see our partners do the laundry, we see our partner do the dishes. That's not going to create that spark again. And then the highest is engagement. Can we actually go and serve together? Can we go and help at a homeless shelter? Can we go and help at a soup kitchen? And education together is phenomenal too. When you're learning together, maybe you're reading the same book, listening to the same podcast, maybe you're doing a course together. There's so many other ways to connect beyond entertainment. And I encourage people to go out there and try that.
But clueless activities,
Yeah.
like activities where you're both dumb. You just don't know how to do any of it. Then you can fumble your way through it with a sense of humor. Jay Shetty is here. Jay's book, 8 Rules of Love. Tanya proudly has it earmarked with several Post-its inside.
Tanya, you're the best.
No, you're the best. I find so many nuggets in this book and your previous book, but I just find there's so much stuff like we can learn so much about our partners, and like by learning the fighting styles, like I discovered I fight a certain way and Robbie fights a certain way, and it's like finding the compromise in the different ways that we argue. And I just find you to be so enlightening and just wonderful. And actually we went to Jay's show at the YouTube Theater last week, and you mentioned these questions that you ask, like the 36 getting to know you questions. And we brought them out on our date night and asked them to each other and like learned new things about each other after 3.5 years of dating. And I was like, wow, it's just like nice.
It works.
It works.
I love it.
By the way, Sisney, notice how Tanya's hogged the book sent to the show that we have not gotten our hands on yet.
I'll send you another one. I'll send you another one.
Jay, we have to get a break here, but I want to invite you back tomorrow because we have some more questions. Sisney, Tubbs, tomorrow,
Yes.
I'm being serious, just after 7 o'clock tomorrow, Jay Shetty is back, 8 Rules of Love. Maybe Tanya will share the book with us overnight on a group text.
The fighting styles is very, very interesting.
We'll talk about that
I want to talk about the fighting styles because I bicker a lot with my husband, and
this is so good.
sometimes I find it like endearing, and I find it like almost like a release. So I am interested. I am very interested in the fighting styles. So let's pick up on that tomorrow.
Jay, we'll see you tomorrow.